Welcome back to another episode of Love and Marriage Unfiltered. It's your boy, Coach Jay, and I'm here with my lovely wife.
Hey family, Coach Shabaka here.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Guys, today is going to be an explosive episode. Hey, we're going to be talking about passcodes again.
We had to run it back.
We have to run it back.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. We have to run it back. We got a lot of feedback dealing with passcodes. Obviously, a lot of couples are dealing with these issues about passcodes. Should I have your passcode? Should I not? So today we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into passcodes.
Yeah, we wanna. So like today, we wanna know. We wanna hear from you. We wanna know what type of couple are you? Okay, so we talked about like passcode sharing. We talked about from I do to I'll unlock it. Give me the code to your phone, right? And so today we just want to run it back again because, like my husband said, this is like a hot button topic, okay? Because sometimes people look at their phones and listen, this is not my phone, this is his phone. So y'all already kind of know where we stand a little bit, but we want to like dive in and get your opinion. And we're going to talk about 3 types of couples, okay? And we want to know which couple are you? And so, because, I think it's important to be able to identify like where you land. Because in some spaces you could be, we're going to list what team you are, but you could be on this team, but maybe the intentions aren't right. And maybe it's some revisiting that might need to happen. Because I think over time, we kind of like navigated this and changed.
Yeah, we hopped around. I mean, the three types of couples that we're going to talk about, I think we visited we was in that space.
I think to a degree, you probably more than me went through.
I think we both went through.
You went through. No, you can't put me in it. But I think so you can kind of ebb and flow, right, in each of these spaces. But I think it's important to look at your why. Like, why are you in that space? Is it from insecurity? Is there lack of trust? Like, what puts you in that space? So from that vantage point, that was me. All right. So y'all ready? Because we're going to talk about the first team. We want to talk about the first team. Which one is more juicy? We'll say, okay.
No, let's talk about the
first team. Okay. All right, y'all. So the first team, this is who we identify. And I want you to drop in the comments if this is you. Team number 1, team transparency. Okay, so this is the couples where it's all access all the time. Like
emails, passcodes,
location.
You got your location turned on all the time, right?
Yeah, so it's like team transparency. So like this one, so can we relate it to like a scripture?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
we are biblical,
we're biblically based.
Yeah.
Biblically based.
Yes, for sure. So we always have to filter things through the word. So here we go.
Yes. And so Genesis 2:24. So therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother's home and leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. So for us, it's been team transparency, but I think we had to work our way to this, like just over time. And we talked about that like in the first episode. So if you just tuned into this one, you need to roll it back, go back. You don't want to miss the other one. It was a little hot there too.
I think it's important to mention that we didn't start off there. We didn't start off team transparency, just team straw, where everything is open. She didn't start off there. I had to be patient and show her grades.
Okay, now lightning about to strike. Let me scoot over. It's gonna hit you.
So we both, honestly, we both had to work on it. I think we both. Maybe more me.
So we're gonna put a plug in it. We're gonna put a plug real quick. So tell me what part, from a transparency standpoint, that I have to work on, since you said that I did too. You need time to think.
Yeah, we'll visit that later. We're talking about 3 couples, 3 different couples that transition dealing with passcodes. I'm trying to put me in the fire. Put me in the fire. The kitchen is hot. Take it out the kitchen.
I told you last time you was sweating. Don't start sweating today. Because
but honestly, I will say I had to make more changes, right? So I think it was easier for you to kind of transition into like, just giving up your passcodes and stuff. For me,
it wasn't a transition for me.
It was
but it wasn't.
So what you saying is harder for a guy? That's what you saying is harder for a guy?
I know some women who are like they follow on some of these other
Fort Knox. They not giving up passcodes.
We haven't made it to we haven't made
we'll
it
get there. But okay, so let's stick on this.
So no, I don't feel like it's the question was, is this a male female thing, husband wife thing? No, I feel like it's just based on that person, the personality, like how they feel about it. I just didn't. It wasn't a big deal for me.
It's not a thing that most males kind of have to deal with. It's just.
Well, I'm not saying most males don't deal with it, but I am saying that I know women. Like I've had friends who were like, "No, he can't look through my phone."
No doubt.
Notice I said had. Not that I wouldn't have a friend that took that stance, but in some cases, that person, like sometimes there's something along with that. But we're gonna come to that. So we're gonna put a pin because sometimes there's something there when that person is feeling that.
Yeah, there's some residue that cause you to not be so freely giving up certain things, especially like your passcodes. But in terms of where we at, this is where we at as a couple. I think we're
pull them out the furnace.
I think we're open with so much things. I don't think it's too much that we share bank accounts, right? Passcodes. I can't even think of anything that we're not just open and transparent about. And once again, we've had to grow into that, right? We've had to the fire kind of tested us, if you will, and we came out of there, with flying colors in terms of just being able to still stay steadfast to who we are, understanding each other, trigger points, and things of that nature, right? So we had conversations. So that's where we're at. So you're gonna have some couples that are gonna end up here where I don't have anything to hide.
So let's look at the flip side of the team transparency because I think so initially, so I feel like we've always been pretty transparent. You maybe like kicking and screaming. Okay, I'm just playing. But we've been pretty transparent. But I would say
kicking and screaming, punching it. I ain't giving up nothing.
Yeah. But what I would say is like the flip side of team transparency. Like there can be an unhealthy aspect to this, right? Like stemming from like insecurity or control. Right. And so you don't want to be transparency by force. You don't want transparency from insecurity. And I talked about this in the last episode. For me, I had to realize that it was coming from a place of insecurity. I needed you to do that so I could really feel like I could trust you more, like from
for sure.
Just past. And so the Lord began to deal with me on that because it was from an unhealthy state and it had become like this crutch for me in the sense, like it made me feel like, okay, I can trust him and I feel good. But honestly, deep down inside, that really didn't help me trust you more. It really didn't, because hindsight, it was still like I had this thing in my chest, like, am I really okay? And until I had to address like the reason why I wanted the passcode, the reason why, even though I didn't like make that super known to you, I feel like it was kind of easy, like along the way. But internally, I had to kind of check myself and say, well, why do I really need this? And begin to really like lean on the Lord and trust in him that he would guard my heart and that he would protect me. And that's where discernment comes in, where the Lord will show us things. He'll show you how to guard and protect your marriage. He'll show you if something is off. Because sometimes the other person might not be doing anything, but they could be in a situation or in a surrounding where there are other people who may not have like good intentions, for example. But I would say like it can be unhealthy. Team transparency, we want it to be from a healthy standpoint, a biblical standpoint, that both people are coming together. You're learning how to do this, but not from a standpoint of you need to tell me everything. I don't feel like that should be the trajectory long-term of like a relationship or marriage. Now, I will say it can be helpful to get people on the right foot. Like if there was footing there or we slipped somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and get you on the right foot. What were you gonna say?
So I was also thinking too that they need to be honest with each other, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're gonna have one side that may be completely open to being transparent, open, giving up this emails, passcodes, and then you have the other party who may not be so open and may still agree to move forward. But you have to be careful because that can possibly build some resentment. That I'm saying yes, but my yes is actually a no, right? Mm-hmm. And I can't speak for women, but sometimes men, we typically our yes is actually our no. But to appease y'all,
when your yes is right? Your no.
So we understand that. Hey, I don't want to argue. I don't want to create some unhealthy energy within the household. So it's just like, all right, I abide to what you want. It may be your thing, the wife thing, but it's like, I'm really not feeling it, but I'll say yes. And throughout just the course of that transparency, you may build some resentment. Because it's one thing to say yes, but then when your wife comes through and pick up your phone, and
so when it's time, when the rubber meets the road, and it's like now,
right?
Okay,
you're saying yes, you're giving lip service, but how do you really feel when now your wife is actually going to test what you actually agreed to?
And then sometimes she might not feel like she's testing it; she's just going with what y'all said. Okay, but so help the women, help us out, and maybe this could help the fellas too. But like, how do you navigate that, right? Because it's like if my yes is my yes and my no is my no, how do we navigate this type of a situation from a woman to a man where because we don't want resentment. Like sometimes we might be in a spot where I don't care. Like I'm trying to save my marriage, my relationship, but I just need to feel better, for this time period. Like how do you navigate that if that is the thing that's on the table is unspoken? I don't know you feel resentment, but you're starting to feel like that. How do we?
That's a good question. I think ultimately it depends on it's going to be one of those things. The best way to answer this is going to be based off every situation, or every marriage or couple is going to have different reasons of needing to. Hey, I need to be able to trust you. I need to know that, I have your trust. And sometimes by knowing I have your trust, it needs to be something tangible, such as I need to be able to know that any given time I can pick up your phone and know that I'm not going to find anything. And by me having that trust, I need to be able to know that you're okay with me picking up your phone. And not so much searching for something, it's just the fact that I know that you're comfortable. You don't have anything to hide. So I just think also too, there's a why behind the what, right? So what we're trying to do is to have an open, trustful relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So I trust you. I don't have anything to hide. But if there's a bit of resistance there, I think conversation needs to be had, right? I think on one side, a person needs to know that, hey, I want us to be 100% transparent, which is fine, but also too, the conversation may need to take place from the other side of the person who may not be, who may be a little bit more resistance to it, right? Mm-hmm. There may be some past hurt. There may be, hey, I didn't grow up in a household where I see my dad and mom be open, right? Their thing was their thing, and they kept things separate. So it may not be the fact that, hey, I'm resistant to this because I'm trying to hide something. It may just be the fact that, hey, I'm not used to this space.
Okay.
So I just think, every couple, every situation is going to be different. And I think if, they kind of understand what's the reason behind it. Okay. And then you got some couples who are okay with you on this side, I'm on this side. Your phone is your phone. And we'll dive more into that. But, every situation is going to be different, right? There's a reason why individual, it being male or female, why they may not be open to being, especially in a marriage when you're not completely open or you're not comfortable. It doesn't mean they're hiding something. It just means that they may not be used to being in that space.
Okay.
So, talking through it.
So I think too, though, because you said like sometimes a man's yes is really his no.
For sure.
Come on. Like, how are we supposed to work with that? It's like, how do you work with that if you say yes, but really you mean no?
Yep.
And now it's resentment, or now there's frustration or this tension. Now, I do think this. I think as women, we could pick it up. Like, we have this intuition where we like, okay, he really not okay, or it's something.
But a lot of some women, I'm sorry, I don't want to say a lot, but some women may tend to, your discernment kicked in, and you know that. You know I'm saying yes, but you feeling a no. Like you know I'm not 100% comfortable with it, but you're still roll because you're getting what you want. And then you do have some women,
but
then
now
you do have
switched it because that's not where I was coming from.
Then you have some women who can read that and be like, hey, I don't, because most women probably don't want to force you to do something you don't want to do, right?
Well, what
so
I guess what I'm about to say,
you should like, hold up, let's slow down a bit.
No, but okay, so now he don't put it on us. I'm putting it back on the men. So don't say yes if you really mean no.
No,
like that's confusing. Right. It's like sometimes you're Ben right. will say women are like complicated or we're confusing. I got you. But there might be a situation where maybe this man had to say yes because. So I feel like there should be some navigating between, like, especially if there was something that arose where this needed to be in place for accountability, for comfort, to help this marriage get back off to the start. Like if maybe trust was betrayed or someone, stepped outside of the relationship or the marriage, then should there be this resentment? And should the man just figure out, or woman, like whoever it is on that flip side, work, like they have to like navigate and work through that, right?
That's a one-off, meaning that if there's probable cause. If she got cause, right? If there's been some things that has happened, let's just keep it real, right? If the brother has stepped outside the marriage, or if the wife has stepped outside the marriage, and now in order for us to build this trust back, I need baby to search through your phone. I need baby to pick up your phone. I need baby to reach your emails. I need baby to know your location, turn your location.
So, but I mean, that's a lot when you just like put it all out there like that.
That's different. I'm just saying in terms of them just going into this marriage, going into this relationship.
Okay.
And there's not a significant like probable cause. Just the fact that I feel like we should do this because this is what marriage is about. Listen. So this is my perspective. So sometimes a guy may be to appease a woman, and when I say that, a guy, fellas, your heart posture is in the right place.
Like, is the posture in the right place?
Hear me out. Right. So his heart may be in the right place. That hey, I want to do this. I know this is going to make my wife happy.
Okay.
Right. I'm really not feeling it though. Like I'm okay with doing it, but I'm not. But so we won't get into an argument, right? So we won't butt heads. I'm willing to say yes. And hope for the best, and hope that I'm okay with it. But in that very moment, a guy be like, I'm not really feeling it. So, I will commend the guys who, how can I say this? I'm not trying to throw my fellas under the bus, because a lot of times I know, and sometimes we should pause and be honest with how we feel about the specific situation. So, heart posture in the right place. Trying to make his wife or his girl happy, but at the end of the day, his answer may not be in the right. It may not be in the right place, right? And sometimes you just got to say, "Hey, I'm not feeling it. This is just, let's work through this."
So listen, I feel like that brings me back to another thing, though. We knew where we stood really before we got married.
Yeah,
we knew where we stood on that. Like that, I feel like maybe in the past, phones and phone calls, like maybe like the generation where we grew up. Like cell phones, I'm trying to remember my parents even had. Like I feel like I was close to coming out of high school.
Did we talk about that though before we got married? Like
we ended. We did because our whole situation was before we even got married. Like we had the trust thing, and then we shared passcodes. Yeah. So yes, so we kind of talked about sharing them when you're dating versus sharing them when you're married. Right, there's a situation. But what I was getting at is that in the past, that might not have needed to be a topic.
Understand.
But I feel like with this generation of marriages and the way technology is, the way social media is, I think like phones have become like so important to where people are so attached to them. Like that now it almost needs to become a part of the discussion before you even like get married to the person, because I'm sure like the phone seemed like a simple thing.
I agree.
Like in theory, But I'm sure that there are marriages who have broken up or separated because somebody's like, I'm not doing that. You don't trust me. You don't trust me, I'm out. Or maybe they really were hiding. Whatever the situation is, I feel like, man, this digital conversation and social media conversation should be on the table, before you really like commit to a person, because sometimes people's, hard line is their hard line. And we think like, okay, well, I could marry this person and this will change. No, let me tell you, when you marry a person, especially, if they're not accountable to the Lord the way they need to be, that hard line gets thicker, it gets harder, and there is no penetrating. It becomes this wall where people think I'll marry and then we'll work through it.
Doesn't work like that.
I'm not saying don't marry somebody because of it, but what I am saying is you kind of need to think long and hard about like your stance and your alignment. If it's super important to me that we're team transparency and it's not that important to you, you're like, no, I ain't never doing that. And you still marry the person, it's like, well, can I really be mad? True. When we get married? Necessarily, I can't. Like, you knew.
So it's one of those conversations. So what you're saying is one of those conversations.
I think it needs to be on the table.
It needs to be on the table before you say I do.
Yeah, and isn't that weird though? Because I would say when we got married, that didn't really need to be.
That wasn't even consideration. It wasn't even consideration for us.
Yeah, like phones weren't that big of a deal. Like our parents, phones weren't that big of a deal. Now, I mean, phones are a big deal. But if you look in this day and age,
yeah, when you look at most situations that has happened that has broken trust in marriages, specifically,
probably starting to stem from a
cell phone.
That's the whether because that's right. Like right at the touch. You can cheat right here with this phone.
I think the phone is one of the vehicles that a lot of people use to cheat. I mean, it's a mini computer, and you can do whatever. You dating sites and so on and so on, and that's the driver. That's the vehicle.
Yeah, what's it called on Instagram? Is it OnlyFans? I think is that still like a thing?
Is it? People about it laughing. I'm sure it's a thing. I'm not one to speak about it because I don't know.
I mean, me either, but I'm just saying. But
I'm sure OnlyFans
will be in like relationships with these people or feel like they're in one, and they're in these little chat rooms. I mean, I guess my point is it's so easy to like get caught up in a situation by just this little device. Very so look, but that leads me to.
All right, what's the second?
That leads me to.
Let's go.
The don't ask, don't tell couple.
Ooh,
my phone, my business.
What?
Say that my phone, my business.
So it's your phone's your business.
Well, that's not how I feel.
Let's go. Your phone.
That's not how I feel. I mean, I told you I'm team transparency.
So you got some couples that says my phone is my business. Don't be trying to look through my phone. Don't actually look through my phone. You don't need the password to my email. None of that.
Nothing. My phone, my business. Don't ask, don't tell, don't ask me no questions. Like, this is mine. So you might have, listen.
You gonna have
some stuff. If it worked for you, it worked for you. Yeah, but like, if it was a scenario where we said this person was like team transparency, now I got the other part is like, don't ask, don't tell, my phone, my business. Like, how is that really working out? But we're gonna go to the my phone, my business, don't ask, don't tell. Which couple are you? Like, so far, we talked about team transparency. Now we're talking about the couples who like, like, I don't care. Right. Like, I'm unbothered. You do you. I'll do me. Like, we're not sharing.
You know what? I'm sure there's couples right now that they roll that way. So I don't want to bash it, but I do want to say that that would be hard, right? Because it's almost like it's how the saying trust but verify, right? Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, but okay, go ahead.
Trust but verify. So it's almost like it's like you it's like you tell your significant other, just trust me. Just trust I'm gonna do the right thing. Don't worry about going through my phone. And it's just one of those situations where it leaves room to wonder.
Well,
that's what I do not like about it. Because,
and let me say this, because I trust you and don't feel like, but we're at this place where it's like, I trust you. I don't feel like I need to verify. Like, I can't think of the last time I've been through your phone to be like, let me see if
that's why I say I think so. These three groups of couples, right? I think
it's the why.
I think all couples, if you married long enough, this is my honest opinion. I don't have any factual documentation. I don't have any studies to prove this.
At first, he's like probable cause,
right?
Now he got factual.
I will say this.
Put you in law school.
I will say this: being married in a 2-parent household, right? Thank God for that. I'm grateful. Not to knock anybody who didn't have a 2-parent household, but from that perspective, and then being married for 8 years, going on 9 years now. We're not 9 years.
He said, we're not coming up on 10.
Coming up on 10.
I'm gonna give him a pass.
Coming up on a decade.
I love him.
So I will say this though, that that when you leave room for error, I'm sorry, if you leave room to wonder, right? And it's almost like if I have to trust you on the basis of just your word, I think it leaves room for the enemy, right? And that just personally how I feel. That's personally how I feel. I just think there should be some measures in place, some boundaries, to give that other person assurance, if you will, that.
But what if the person doesn't feel like they need assurance? So if this is a couple standpoint, like this is the couple, like you good, I'm good, we don't share anything.
I just think so. What I was going to say, and I just got my thought back. What I was going to say, I just think that particular couple haven't evolved into. I think it's different levels, right? And hear me out. And I'm not knocking it because you probably got some couples on here that's been married for 10, 15 years, and y'all may still be like living in that space where my stuff is my stuff, your stuff is your stuff. So I'm not knocking it, but what I'm saying is I just think there's levels. I just think that through just marriage, you evolve to different ideals, you evolve to different perspectives, you evolve to a different way of living, going through life. And I just think with us, I can say that because I think at one point, I don't think we ever started there, but I think where we at right now in terms of just fully being transparent, we didn't start off there. I don't know if we started off there like just from day one for transparency. I think we've learned to build ourselves up and just we evolved to that place. And I just think every couples, I think you just need to
continue to evolve. So I would say like it's like a fabric, like it's woven into us, like at this point to where we're this way, and like we're not thinking about it. It's no energy on. I need to see his phone to feel comfortable, or he needs to see mine to feel comfortable, or now things might like location. That might be more for just like safety is not. But in the beginning, like as we're building that muscle, it's like that muscle was weak, and we trying to like work it out and build it up.
There's a sense of resistance, especially. I mean, unfortunately, especially from a male. Sometimes it's going to be because it's like I don't know what it is. I can't even put it in words. There's a sense of vulnerability there that you have to give up as a man to allow your wife to be able to kind of comb through things that at one point in your life was yours. It was sacred to you. It's just like, no, you just can't pick up my phone and go through, So just
and sometimes it's not even about the phone. Like it's about a person feeling like they're losing something. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I think for the couple who, like you were saying, who's this way, my question is, and y'all answer this question: do you feel like this couple, this type of a couple, has evolved enough to a oneness to where they're knitted together? Because if it's like this yours, this mine, and whatever, and I feel like, well, I don't need that and I don't need that. Are both people truly engrafted into each other?
Good word to use.
Or are they still like, no, I'm good and you good, we kind of still have our own thing? And we're looking at this more from a Christian perspective, right? Like we've completely submitted ourselves to the Lord's plan. So what does that look like? I'm like, no, you do you, I'll do me.
I personally feel that there's some things still here that a person or they may haven't overcome. It may be something that they experience, just watching how their parents ebb and flow,
or the dating,
or they're dating their passion. It's just personally how I feel. I just think that there's still something internally that's making you feel that, hey, I gotta have this space to myself. I still gotta have some type of control of this particular thing. And in a marriage, sometimes you got to give up some control. You got to let it go. And that's one of the things that I've learned. If I were to give any advice to a young man in a marriage, is that you have to be okay with, first of all, giving the marriage, giving up control to the Lord, but also too, there's going to be some tangible things from wife to husband or husband to wife, specifically from husband to wife, that you may have to kind of relinquish control of.
Yeah.
And still kind of doing this, living in this space, or being able to not yield your access, your phone, your emails, passcode, things like that to your wife, or the wife to the husband. I think there's still some things that needs to be let go, and that's just how I feel. Also, too, I just thought about something too, that there's going to be some couples where it may be healthy, it may be working out, because
so it may be healthy and it may be working out. But there's a chance, a high probability that the chance that I'm about to say, there's a high probability that there's something else underneath. Which leads me to Luke 8:17.
Come on.
For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. So it's like, what's hidden in the dark always comes to light. Now, the question is, does it matter to each person? I would say, like, if it didn't matter to me, if there was something in the dark that needed to, if it didn't matter to me, then I have to ask myself, like, where is my commitment level really to you and to the Lord?
That's good.
Like, am I totally invested in you, or do I have a foot in and then a foot out, of my pinky toe is on the edge, over here, like, just in case. So sometimes I feel like I've seen it to where people don't want to create accountability for another person, whether that's in a marriage, a relationship, it could be at work.
Right.
Sometimes you don't want that accountability because you don't want to be held accountable. Ooh, so it's like you kind of like giving this free space. Not that you want the person to come over here and do these things, but you're giving this because you want it. So I'm trying to give it to you.
Nice.
Because I don't want you coming on my side like
right. All of my stuff, my business. Right. I can see that.
Yeah. And so I think that, ultimately, the question would be, would this couple care if it came to light? And to me, if you don't care whether it came to light, then it's like we have to do some soul searching and really looking at, like, is my marriage representing the marriage that Christ would want it to represent? Now, if it does, right, because you could be this couple and everything is on the up and up and this is just what works for you.
Yes.
Right? But as my husband said, I feel like it opens the door. It just opens the door for the enemy to come in. We just talked about social media. We just talked about, dating sites, whatever it could be. It just leaves too much room.
Yes.
That's what I feel. Now, I do believe that if you trust, you don't really have to check. Like, I don't feel like I have to check your phone. You don't feel like you have to check mine. We just have this open, our relationship is like we can if we need to.
That'll be another episode that we'll talk about, like, what does trust look like? I think it feels a certain way, it looks a certain way, and if you operate in a marriage a certain particular way, how one another moves, I think that the trust will be sealed, right? Mm-hmm. Therefore, you don't have to feel like you have to go through my phone. And I think there's some tangible. Right. I think there's some tangible things, some action things that one can display to the other to solidify trust. And I think it's more than just saying that trust me or I trust you. I just think it's some action. It's some things that a person moves through the marriage to assure that, hey, you can trust me.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. And I think for us, that's what it is. I want to give that up. I'm okay giving that up to you.
Yes.
Because I want you to trust me. And it carries more weight for me to know that you trust me completely, up to 100%, versus me still needing to have ownership over this device.
Right, and create a distrust that might not even need to be there. It's like, I'm faithful, I love you, I'm not doing it, but you ain't getting this. Right. If this is what you need to, it's just like, okay.
Yeah. Right.
Like, there's some ego involved. And so again, we're not like, we just giving our truth, right? This is unfiltered conversation, So it might be an ouch. We're not trying to hurt you, right? We just telling it like how we see it. This is our opinion, okay? And so I just believe that it just closes the door to temptation when you have this openness with your partner. Right. Even with bank accounts and stuff like that. Like, of course, with a joint bank account, it does make it harder to like surprise each other. Like, hey, don't look at the account today. I'm about to do, don't look at the account. Because this one right here, he's hard to surprise. I love you though, but I be like, how you see that?
And plus, bank accounts can be different too. In which,
but that's a whole nother.
Bank accounts can be different because
bank accounts should be a little bit different. I don't feel like things should be hidden. Right. Because even when we start talking about bank account, it's like you want me to have like, babe, have this and have like I understand that.
But what if one person is learning how to manage money, their bank accounts, and they spending money that's anyway,
so that's a whole
that's what it is. We'll talk about that.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back to it.
Bank accounts are something serious.
We're gonna come back to it.
Okay.
All right. So are we safe to move to like the third?
I think this is the third. This is a soft approach right here. This is a soft landing.
Okay. So this couple, we will call this the middle grounders couple.
Come on.
They trust, but they verify. They're not, they're kind of in between. They could go either way.
I have your passcodes. I can get into your,
Yeah, so passcodes. You have access for like practical reasons, but they're not like checking and scrolling. Right. And I mean, it's kind of hard because it's like you can see how like all three of these can like merge because the last couple is like, well, if you trust me, you don't have to check. I do feel like if you trust the person, you didn't have to check. But like this middle grounder is like they're more like easy breezy. They not. But I feel like we're easy too, so that I guess it makes it hard.
But so this, I think the middle grounders is almost like I don't necessarily need your passcode, but if you want it, I can give it to you. You know what I mean? It's almost kind of like I'm not pushing forward. It may be some things, some passcodes or some access that I may not have access to, but I'm good with it. I'm not really.
Yeah, they're not monitoring. Right. It's not like.
But I know if I need to get access to it, you're open to it almost.
No, I think they're completely open. This middle ground is like free flowing, I guess. It's like free flowing. Well, if you ask, then I'll do it. Whereas we're like here's everything. Here's everything on my end. And we move on. We don't think anything about it. This couple is like.
I think the first, like the full transparency. I think the difference between the first group of individuals is full transparency, and then like this third, like the middle grounders. I think the first, like how we are, I think we're more intentional about making sure that things are just open versus it just lingering and hey, I have this. I think we're purposeful when it comes to making sure that we are open, we share, we talk about it. Like we don't purposely try to hide it. Like we put things in place. So it's like, hey, here, there's nothing to hide.
Yeah, and then I guess
versus the second, you may not be.
I know you said purposeful. I guess I feel like now it's like second nature. It's no. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think in the beginning it felt purposeful. Now that I feel like we're seasoned, and I mean, I know it's people who've been married longer than 10 years, but I started looking at like how long I've known you, like 2001, we in 2025. Well, I've known you since we were kids, but like as far as in a dating capacity. Mm-hmm. And so now it feels effortless. It feels like this is just what we do. Like I don't know, like how about y'all? Do you feel like in your relationship or your marriage, wherever you are, do you feel like this is effortless for you? Or are you still in a season where you're like, I don't know yet.
Ain't there yet, y'all.
I'm not there because so I was telling my husband earlier. So I was saying like I had a friend who was that way. Like sometimes we think it's just the men who feel like that, but this particular person was very much like, don't check my phone. I don't look at your phone. This is my space, my stuff, my money, my. Like honestly, when as I started saying that, I'm like, it's a lot of my. Right. And so I can think about how like I tried to make maybe positive impact on that individual because things changed. Right. And that marriage actually ended up not lasting because part of it was because both people were like, this is mine. And sometimes it would be awkward. Like if we like, cause we were kind of getting to know this particular couple And it would make it awkward for us because we share everything. We all right. Like I don't need this. I don't have to change the straw. Like if I'm drinking out of straw, or drinking out of like it's certain things where like. And so I guess what I'm saying, it's important to be around like-minded people and couples because I've been around couples who have, or maybe the female in the group, like the wife of the group, who started to try to influence me, like with how they thought and how they acted. And likewise, I'm trying to influence them with how I feel and how I act and how I see marriage from, a godly perspective. And so, in the end, I do think we try to win people over, right, to what's right and what's right and wrong could be like subjective, yeah. But from a biblical standpoint, like the lens, the filter that I see it through, because I think over time, filters that we've seen it through, like we've had to say, Lord, change my filter, change this lens because I'm looking at it wrong. But I think all in all, what do you feel like?
I think every situation is going to call for a different solution, specifically dealing with Passcodes. But here's my 2 cents. I will leave you with this.
Come on, 2 cents.
I will leave you with this. That I think ultimately in a marriage that your true north should be full transparency. That's just how I truly feel. I think I can speak for you.
I'm so happy I'm married to you.
I think the true north is full transparency. Now it's okay if you may not be in that space right now, but I think being purposeful about trying to get to that space in your marriage. I think that should be the key. I think that should be the true north. That hey, although we're not here, but we should get to a place that we 100% trust one another. Therefore, I should be able to be open about these different items that I feel like I still should hold dear and near to me. That hey, I can't let you in. No, you should open it up because at the end of the day, you guys should be intertwined. Right? You guys should be one voice, one spirit, one heart. And I think just with how society is that with this little device here, if you make room for the enemy, it'll get you caught up. So I'd rather just focus on the marriage and make sure the marriage is happy and we're one and we're in peace. And
peace. I'm peace.
Okay with
listen. Yes,
that's my little 2 cents.
I think that's good though. Like this has been good. I think it's a good reality check, right? To look at where do I stand? Why am I here, right? Because at any 3 of the group, right, wherever team you kind of fell in, like there should be perspective to it because one can sound healthier than the other, but your why is so important. Like what is my why? Like what makes me tick? Why am I in need of this? Or why don't I want to do this? Right? You could look at any one of those scenarios and say, I need to make some adjustments to change, right? Like internally what's happening because externally, maybe you're saying I need the passcode to this or to that, or the bank account or whatever. Externally, that's what's happening, but internally, what's really driving you? And I think, over time, as you begin to really look at like the internal factors and what's driving you, and we ask the Lord to really like, purify that and help you navigate so you can be in a healthy, because team transparency could be team unhealthy too, right? Like depending on what you're doing and how you're doing it. But we want to see marriages thrive. We want to see marriages last. We don't want you just surviving in your marriage. It's like you struggling. Listen, and we've been there, so we understand. Like the struggle can be real, and so we're in this together. Okay, so listen, this has been a fun episode. We just wanted to run it back again to you all, talking about passcodes. Yes. And this is fun. This was good.
Drop some comments if you have questions. If you have something you want to add to this in-depth conversation.
Yeah. Y'all, like just one bonus. This is really for the ladies, so men don't get mad because I'm gonna put my husband on the spot. One bonus, and then we're gonna go. I just had this thought. Red flags. Is it a red flag? I'm asking for my ladies out here. Is it a red flag when you are in a relationship? I would say in a relationship or marriage, and they will not share this passcode with you. Should I consider this a red flag for me in this relationship?
So if the guy is not willing to,
if he's not willing, their phone is like this, face down all the time. Like, is that a red flag?
I would say it could be. I would say that. So I can't indefinitely say that it's actually a red flag because he can have reasons why, and it may not be anything there. So I'm not going to just put guys on the spot like that, and I'm not trying to say I'm trying to protect.
I don't know. You need to answer this like you answer for your daughter.
So if I'm speaking to my daughter, and my daughter's like, Dad, I'm dating this guy, and this guy he have these tendencies that when he's on his phone, he's putting his phone
secretive, phone face down.
I said, yeah, I would tell her with all honesty that it could be something there.
Okay.
There could be something there.
Okay.
So if a woman is going through that right now, and a guy is having those tendencies where he's putting his phone, it may be something where it may be a habit that he's doing it. And it could be something there that he may have something going on that he's trying to hide from you. So I would tell any woman this, right?
Okay.
And I would tell any guy this, though. It works for both guys. It works for male or female.
Okay.
That
time
will reveal everything, guys. Okay. Give things time. Let time be your test taker, right? Let time reveal these things for you. I think a lot of times we move too fast, and you don't give time for a situation to play out, and you're moving so fast, and it hasn't evolved yet. It's almost like in sports, right? As a quarterback, if you move too fast as a quarterback and you throw too soon, you haven't given the receiver time to make his routes, and the ball is going to get there before the receiver. Now, as a quarterback, also too, if you guys who understand sports, that if a quarterback allow the play to evolve, let your lineman do the blocking, let your receiver take his route, does his cut. So by the time you throw the ball, by the time the receiver makes the cut, the ball is right there. So what is it that I'm saying?
What you saying?
So what I'm saying is let the guy or the woman let time reveal itself. Right. So if a person says they're honest, I think time will show that. Okay. Right. If a guy is hiding something or a woman is hiding something, I think in due time that they're gonna display some characteristics. They're gonna display some certain disciplines, if you will, that's gonna show you what they're trying to hide.
It's gonna show the truth.
The truth will come. It is. Okay. So give it time. Give it some time.
Yeah, I just had to throw that in there. So like, sometimes I like to, get questions from a man's point of view, because I know a lot of times women, we want to know what to do from a male perspective, because we can, chit chat all day with each other. But it's always wonderful. We can have a viewpoint from a godly man who is unfiltered, who's going to tell you even when you don't want to know.
Keep it a mental note. Don't let them know you're watching. Just let them keep doing what they're doing. or let her keep doing what she's doing and give it time.
Give it time, y'all. So listen, now that was the icing on the cake, okay? That was the icing on the cake. But listen, y'all, we sure appreciate you for tuning back in with us to Love and Marriage Unfiltered with the Straws. So we're going to be back with another episode. But babe, what they need to do before they get off? We need what?
Subscribe.
Yes.
Like and share.
Yes. Please subscribe. Please share. Hey, don't forget, make sure that you comment. We're going to be looking in the comments. We want to know which team are you, and are you evolving to another team?
Let's go.
We want to know. Okay. So make sure, come back, tune in for another episode next week. We'll be back again. All right, y'all.
Peace.